I'm here tonight on behalf of my grandfather, who I never met, but growing up on Long Island, he got an associate's degree in agriculture at the early part of the last century and farmed 20 miles out of New York City. So I think to John's point, we probably don't need to go very far in our genealogy to find our roots in farming. So it's an honor to represent that tonight. 24 hours ago, I was at an event a block from here where we were opening up the Fairfield Collab, which is a collaborative, innovative entrepreneurial space for creating more businesses in Fairfield, as we are a leader in the country in that area. This business model, you've heard a lot about the farming, but this business model's time has come. It's the right time for this, and I think it's great that we are also celebrating that in Fairfield this week. This fits so well with our long-range sustainability plans as a community. It fits very well with the designation that we received earlier this year as a designated blue zones, which is a place where cultures live to over 100 years old, 10 times greater than any other place in the world. We have that, and in each of these places, obviously you're going to find the connection to local foods. So thank you to the organizers, thank you to the farmers for doing this on our behalf. My last point will be that one of the other things that I appreciate that John finished his talk with was the relationship piece, and this is a connection between urban and rural that I really celebrate and I look forward to seeing strengthened. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Patrick Siljestam. I work for MEM, and I work with the food services. And already a year before the Food Hub started, we were working with local farmers, but just through this one person that, went out to the different places and bought some local food for us. But we couldn't really know whether it was legit organic or, because that's a policy at the university, we only serve organic food. And it wasn't very large scale. And now we've done one season with a Food Hub, and it's been great. And we're not just doing it as an idealistic thing, it's also, competing with the prices from our other sort of big scale agricultural vendors. So it's great for the business, great for the university, and for the future, we're hoping that it's gonna continue to expand. And hopefully we can go all local, all organic, not just all organic. So thank you.
To introduce Terry Wells, who's the dietary manager at the Jefferson County Hospital, and Tamara Hoffman, who is the licensed dietitian at the hospital. We've had the great joy of working with them this year. We're just getting started. They're buying small quantities, but it's something to really celebrate, to think how many people in America can say that there's local organic food going into their hospital. It's becoming an incredible national trend. And they're just going to say a few words. I just want to mention one more thing, and that's that I was emailing back and forth with the CEO at the hospital just this last week, and I threw out some ideas that I've been throwing around with Tara and Tamara, and we are planning long-term an organic garden at the hospital, and maybe greenhouses in the future, and we're going to do some food demos there and some cooking classes.
So as she said, I'm Tamara Hoffman. I'm the dietitian over at the hospital. We've actually loved working with Barbara this past few months, getting some of this produce in. We do get a lot of patients in that are more health conscious now and are really wanting to go towards organic. So it's really great to be able to offer all of these different pieces of produce, and it's really great because we've gotten in some cool different things like acorn squash, which is something we don't ever get. So Terry loves kind of cooking up things in the kitchen and getting some good things for our employees to seem to have at lunch and have different things. So people seem to really enjoy it, and we're really enjoying working with Barbara and everybody.
I'm just say one word. We forgot one of our esteemed board members, Sandquist, who has been an amazing help in helping us connect with Hy-Vee and some of the traditional institutions that are more at scale. And so she crosses over really well.
Our next target is the local school system.
There's the mayor, part of Blue Zones, right? We had a discussion earlier. Okay, I'll be very quick, but a lot of people don't realize Hy-Vee is very autonomous. What that means is each store is very community specific. And so even though there is, yes, a mothership corporate Hy-Vee in West Des Moines, we all make our decisions locally. So we are quite interested in local food and organic food. And Barbara knows we have a few challenges in that we already are buying some of the local food that we can get. So we're grateful for that. One of the challenges I can tell you with the retail consumer is things need to be perfect. And that's a challenge with local food in some cases. Whereas when you go to the hospital, Terry can work his magic and dice and slice and make it presentable, right? So it's like everything else. There's different needs, different opportunities. So we're working through all that. A couple things to just explain a couple things that were said tonight. Nutrient density is basically how much nutrition is in a calorie. So if you eat a big brownie, that's very low nutrient dense because you don't get a lot of nutrition. If you have some of that really good beet kale salad, that's very high nutrient density. Also, relationship with food. All the research shows that the family mealtime is the best place to make strong bonds with kids, which improves grades, kids get in trouble less, and so it's all about that relationship with food. And total diet. I would be remiss as a registered dietitian if I didn't mention that. We get so concerned about the latest study about this food or this nutrient or that nutrient. What we need to think of is total diet, balance, moderation, variety. Because what we find is, according to the CDC, and I saw where Bill Sachs said this even last week, only 9% in our country eat enough vegetables. So for those of you that are good at math, how many people do not eat enough vegetables every day? 91. I wish they'd say that instead of 9. Okay. How many people eat enough fruit? 13%. So how many do not eat enough fruit every day? All right, I'll leave you with that. Total diet.
And our last speaker to grace us, and this is not a political rally, but this is a politician and a candidate for the U.S. Senate. But I've asked Tom to come here and speak as an advocate for local food and as a citizen of Iowa. So, Tom Fegan.
Well, let's see if I can be brief. I have 3 themes for you. The first is light, the second theme is darkness, the third theme is policy. First thing with light, you are the cutting edge here in Fairfield. You have much to teach the rest of the state and the rest of the nation. I've learned a lot from Barbara, from Bob, from all of you. You have much to teach. We have a path forward with local food that tastes good, that's healthy, that's good for the environment. Fairfield and Jefferson County is part of the light. Keep it up, keep going forward. The second theme is darkness. Darkness. In the chemical world, there are more and more cancers, and I want to share something for you because I've been studying this. 40 years ago, before we started the chemical age in Iowa, we lost 5,320 Iowans to cancer. And our Iowa College of Public Health keeps detailed records by county and type. This year, we will lose over 6,400 Iowans to cancer, an additional 1,100 compared to the pre-chemical age. My little town I'm from is Clarence. It's 1,100 people. We're losing the equivalent of Clarence this year to chemicals. In the top 10 by new cases and deaths are 3 directly related to ag chemicals: thyroid cancer, ovarian cancer, related to nitrate, and Francis talked about nitrate. The third one is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was found by the World Health Organization in March to be caused by Roundup. We are the second largest state in terms of Roundup. Our country applied 300 million pounds of Roundup last year. That's darkness. We need to pull back from that system. The third theme is policy. We need to have food policies that restores organic matter to our soil. We need policies that are about sustainable food. And what I'm calling the democratization and decentralization of food, Dr. John, those of you that are Jay fan heard Joe Maxwell say we can grow all of our food within 100 miles of where we live. One of the things I want you to work towards as a community, as part of the state, as part of the nation, is a policy that drives us towards healthy food, healthy environment, and leaving our children and grandchildren something better than what's been created the last 40 years. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I put out 8,000 miles a month. I've been to 91 counties. This is about replicating what you all are doing here nationwide and leaving our children and grandchildren a better place through our government. Thank you.